you are hearing the crackling sounds, it's not your hearing that has gone bad, it's that the candle that's behind me is crackling. It smells amazing, so you know we're gonna go for it. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Welcome back. It's been a while. It's been a while since we chatted. So in today's video, we are addressing something that I made a video about, but we're updating it because I feel like we need to update it. You and I both know we need to update this. We are going to be chatting about this detrimental word called posture. We're going to be addressing your upper body, and I really wanted to just take a moment and chat with you of what we can do if you have postural issues and how we can sort of manage that. What are a couple of exercises that you can do to sort of manage your posture better? But I'm also going to be providing you with a couple of tips that I think you can apply throughout the day that will make a massive difference. So if you are interested in how we can manage our posture a little bit better, then just stay tuned and let's get started with the video. I'm not going to go into the whole rant about, why is posture important. First of all, why is my hair going everywhere? Nobody knows. Why is posture important? Well, posture is important because it provides you structure, and honestly, the stronger your base is, then the better your posture will be. But ultimately, if you're looking at the longevity of your muscles and the longevity of your body, then you obviously want to pay attention to things like posture. As much of a pain in the butt that is, because if the word posture, I will be using the word posture quite a few times, and it will get to a point where every single time that I use the word posture, you will probably correct your own posture a few more times. So let's see how many we can actually, I would love to start a counter right now, see how many times you can get that in, and how many times have you actually corrected your own posture. So here's the thing with the whole posture thing. I feel like this is almost as redundant as when people talk about water consumption or hydration. We need to have a basic understanding of it, of what you're looking for, and what you need to correct. You're going to be noticing that the whole posture issue can get related to a couple of different things. We can either address the upper body or we can address the lower body. If we're addressing upper body, you're going to be looking at your shoulders, your neck, between your shoulder blades, and mainly we're looking at that hunched posture. So think somebody who has like their neck forward, they maybe have jaw issues, their shoulders are kind of rounded inwards, they kind of look like a little turtle, like you're like sort of crawling inside of yourself. Maybe there is a creature that is designed like that. I don't know, who knows? But what I need you to understand about the whole posture thing is that it's based on holding patterns. So number one is based on holding patterns. Number two, it's a habit. So that means that the more postural awareness you can create into your day-to-day habits, the more you can actually correct them. Can you correct them with remedial exercises? Yes. Every single time you move your body, you have the opportunity to correct it. However, before you jump in and get your yoga pants on and you get rocking with your strength and core training and all of that fun stuff, we really need to talk about why you have poor holding patterns to begin with. Basically, all I want you to understand about your whole posture, especially when it comes to your upper body, is that it's a learned behavior. You can control it. You need to manage that environment. Once again, you need to really make sure that you are you can set reminders in your phone that says the word posture. Usually posture could be a trigger word that you're not even realizing, that as soon as somebody starts talking about it, you become more aware of it, you realize that it's a problem, and automatically your desire to want to correct the problem becomes quite evident. So here's my suggestion to you. Instead of what we've been doing up to this point, which is beating ourselves up for having poor posture, for not working out, for not doing our stretches, you feel terrible and you go to the massage therapist or your physio, and did you do your exercises? No, I didn't. We're not doing any of that. We're going to meet you exactly where you're at. So here's what I need you to understand. Posture and postural imbalances are learned behaviors. You can absolutely correct them. Sometimes you can, but for the most part, you totally can. You need to bring awareness of how to sit properly and what your holding patterns are when you're working with the computer or when you're standing or when you're walking, basically. So first thing first, before you do anything else, is awareness. Number 2 is obviously you need to move your body. And when you're already moving your body, if you have that habit already built in and it's a normal thing for you, you're not just starting with a workout plan, you're not in rehab, but you're literally at a point where you're working out regularly, but you wanted to improve upon your posture. I will be taking you over to the next clip in a moment where I can actually show you a couple of exercises that you can do. They're going to be probably whole body exercises that I think that will help you over the long term to manage your posture a little bit better. I don't want you to spend too much time on beating yourself up about it, because honestly, whenever you do the whole guilt trip, we both know that you're not going to be changing your habits. So I wanted to show you a couple of exercises, especially if you are going for your massage treatments. This would be a perfect complement that you can do in between treatments. And I really want you to think about your self-care game as something that you do in between your actual regularly scheduled treatments. If you're not getting any treatments done, that's okay. But I want you to have a level of self-awareness and understanding of what you actually need to do to create a better posture for yourself. This is specifically important when we're talking about the upper body. If you are working with the computer, if you're seated for extended periods of time, the number one thing that I would like you to do that starts pretty much right away is to set your phone an alarm. I will show you a screen right here that shows you how to do it, but basically we're going to be repeating this alarm for every single hour or every 50 minutes, and then at 50 minutes the alarm will go off and it will say stand. Then every hour the alarm will go off and it will say posture. So every single time that you hear the word posture, I already need you to think about self-correction, because your body actually knows how to self-regulate and self-correct itself. So if you close your eyes and basically just allow to stand still, that's your neutral. And if you're looking at like, how do I create like what is proper posture? Think the opposite of how you feel when you're stressed. So it's very relaxed. So we're going to start at the top and I will walk you through the entire body of exactly what I mean by proper posture. So that way you kind of know what we're striving for. And then I will also hop you over to the next clip where I will show you a couple of exercises that you can do, whether you're at the office or you're in front of your kitchen sink or you're at the gym. Wherever you are, my big recommendation to you, if you are doing any of the stretching exercises, to make sure that you warm up first. If you are moving on to the strengthening exercises, still, I want you to warm up first. Warm up those muscles. Make sure that you prevent your injuries, because really, just because we're trying to correct your posture does not mean that you should also strain or pull a ligament. We really don't need to create more problems than we already have. Wouldn't you agree? I agree. All right, so if that sounds good to you, let me help you over to the next clip where I show you the full body. We'll do a full body scan and I will show you exactly what you're looking for when it comes to proper posture. Sound good? Cool, let's go. Okay, so let's take a look at poor posture here. So notice how my shoulder is rounded forward. Same thing with my neck, completely hunched forward. It's going to mainly affect your low back, your mid back, like basically your entire spine. And then now we're going to correct it. So I pulled my shoulder back, I pulled my neck back, and you can't really tell from my hair, but I'm relaxing my jaw here. Okay, so we have core engaged, shoulders pulled down and back, jaw completely relaxed. I'm not clenching my teeth, breathing normally. There's your potentially optimal posture here. Okay, so we're going to be talking about pecs and how we can sort of offset a lot of the stresses that go on your back and on your shoulders, especially if you are in front of the computer quite a bit. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how to do a pec stretch, and I will show you a couple of different variations, because based on how high or how low your arm goes, that will also determine like which fibers you're actually stretching out. Just to kind of get started, you always want to start at 90 degrees. If your arm comes up, then you're stretching out the lower fibers of pecs, and if your arm comes down, then you're stretching out the higher fibers. So that makes sense. The other thing that I will also show you is how to stretch your neck out. I have chosen an exercise will actually hit more than one muscle group up, so then that way you're kind of saving yourself a little bit of time. So we're going to be doing some side bending and opposite side of where you're stretching to, you're going to take the opposite arm and you're going to actively depress, actively push right down. This is something that you can do as you're advancing with your stretching technique. The very basic fundamentals are side bending, so think you're bringing your ear down to your shoulder and then you're going to rotate your nose in a 45-degree angle in the direction of your armpit. And if you want, you can also do a gentle pull, but it's not necessary. You can also just go straight into that angle and you can hold that for about 15 to 20 seconds. You can lead up to about 30 seconds at the next set, and you can lead up to, if you can lead up to about a minute. So hopefully you guys will find that helpful, and let's get going. Moving on to the exercises. So we're going to push down with the arm that we are stretching. You're going to see my neck side bend and rotate in the direction of my armpit. And then we're also pressing down with the opposite arm. So this is your first neck stretch. Now let's move on to pecs. Okay, so lunge forward. Breathe like you normally would, arms up at a 90-degree angle, and just beautifully and gently start leaning right into that stretch. You definitely don't want to be too aggressive here. You can also use a wall, by the way. I did not use a wall, but you get the idea. And here is the side view of the exact same thing. So lunge forward, arms at 90 degrees, make sure that you protect that shoulder joint. And here you can kind of take a look at the different angles that I mentioned a little bit earlier for pec stretches. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me in this video. I know it's a little bit different, but I kind of wanted to go back to old school, because if you have seen my first postural related video, I really wanted to just give you an update so that it's a little bit more, 2019, if you will. So hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you have found this helpful and useful. You already know what to do. If you did, you can give me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel. You can hit the notification bell so that you always get updated whenever I release a new video. We usually shoot for about 2 to 3 videos per week on this channel. Sometimes we talk about spiritual practices. Other times we talk about how we can reduce our waste consumption and how we can overall become a more conscious consumer and a more conscious human, when we're tapping into how we can help our bodies become the best versions of themselves. So if that sounds good to you, what I usually do is, because I usually release a few videos each week, you may not know really what's going to be coming up when. So to help you out and make your life a little bit easier, I usually release a recap email that shows you some of the best takeaways from each of my videos. That way, you don't really miss anything. And if you wanted to sign up for that, it's completely free. I left the link down in the description so you can sign up. And then that way, next Sunday, you're going to be getting my recap emails and you can read them. And in the meanwhile, keep looking out for those postures, you guys, and keep seeking, because you're so much more powerful than you think. And I will see you guys again next time. Bye.
I would just like to point out the fact that even the dog wants not much to do with you when your posture is that terrible. Like, he's like, I can't even look at you, girl. It's brutal. I'm just going to look outside the window, and hopefully that's going to be a little bit more entertaining until you decide to actually start working out and getting your stuff together. Come on now. On the flip side of things, I will mention that you have come a long way since the very first video that you have made about posture, when you were putting in like hot firefighters. Like, what was that about? And still nobody understands. Anyway, move on and just correct that posture, girl. Off you go. This is what happens when you exercise in your own house. They take up all the space. What are we gonna do with your man? I'm hungry too. For the truth. Of course you can. Yeah, are you gonna cut me off? Are you serious right now?